Hello everybody. Today we're going to be going over how to successfully get your North Carolina real estate license on your first attempt. So a little bit about me. I'm Colby Mitchell. I'm a real estate broker here in the state of North Carolina as well. I'm a national commercial real estate advisor. And as I stated earlier, today we're going to be going over how to successfully get your real estate license in North Carolina on your first attempt, all online. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So the first step in this process of getting your North Carolina real estate license is going to be picking a school. Here in North Carolina, we have a lot of great options. Personally, I went through HPW in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is now, since COVID, offered fully online. So after you pick your school, you're going to move into the second step, which is to actually sign up for your specific course, which will have a time date of when you need to be in class, and you're going to need to go ahead and pay for said class. So now that you've selected a course and paid for it and you're enrolled, it's time to actually complete your 75 hours. I highly recommend, when it comes to your dedicated class time, being fully focused, putting your phone to the side and taking notes. And also a little tip, read in the morning the chapters that you'll be going over in that class so that when it comes around you can go ahead and ask questions about things you were a little confused on when you read. Now, after you've completed your 75 hours, it's going to be time to pass your class exam. You'll have to do this to get a certification to be able to take your national and state exam. And on this class exam, you're going to need a 75% score to pass the exam. And I highly recommend using one of the links that'll be in this description of the video to review for this exam, and it'll be general questions that are primarily focused on exactly what is gone over in the textbook. All right, so it's time to actually sign up for your PSI exam. This process is fairly simple. You're going to need to pass a background check. You're going to need to pay the North Carolina Real Estate Commission fee, and you're going to need to pay the PSI exam fee, which you will have to pay every time if you continue to retake this exam. Now, once you've paid all of these fees, you'll get a link where you can select your time block to take the national and state section of the exam. Once you've selected one of those, you move on to your test day. Now, once you actually get there on test day, I recommend completely having your desk cleared off because they're very particular about this. If there's anything around you at all, they're going to make you remove it and restart. So go ahead and make it easier on yourself and just get rid of any distractions that could be around you. Now, you have 180 days of your certification lasting from passing your class exam to when you have had to have passed the national and state exam. So I recommend being pretty on this once you pass that class exam. Now, let's say you're like me. I passed my national exam first try, but I missed my state exam by one question, which is pretty common because we're one of the toughest states to pass. You have a 10-day gap period where you're not allowed to retake that exam. So you're going to have 10 days to study and reselect a new time block. Really be on it. Try to remember what was on the exam and what kind of stumped you up, because you're not going to be able to see what you got right or wrong. So you're going to have to replay in your mind and focus in on this and just study even harder. Now, once you've passed both of these exams, you're going to instantly get your results right after taking them. You'll know. And this is going to be sent over to the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. And they're going to congratulate you, and you'll receive your license within 3 to 5 business days, which will look something like this, minus my license number, which you cannot see in this. As well, if you selected the option, you'll receive a digital pocket card through your email so that you have a little, basically like a business card on your computer that just reviews your license number and the fact that you have a license. Now, after you've received your license, this is a very important step of the process most people tend to skip. It's time to pick a sector that you want to be in, a certain asset class. To break it off right away, there's 2 main industries you can go into. There's residential and commercial. Residential covers all of your homes, where you're going to actually live. Commercial are income producing properties such as office buildings, storage units, industrial buildings, things like that. It's important for you to decide what you really have a passion for. Do you like taking people through possibly their first ever home when they're really excited and they want to see the bathrooms and they want to see the kitchen and they want to look at all the little details? Or are you more of a numbers person and you want to focus in on looking at equity, looking at income, and seeing what makes the most sense for an investor? I can't answer that question for you. You have to sit down and think about that and come to the best decision for yourself. And if you want help with that, feel free to DM me on Instagram and I can go through these a little more with you. Now, after you've decided on a sector, it's time to actually what we call hang your license. Back in the day, when you walked into a real estate brokerage, all the license of the brokers were hung on the wall in there. So that's why it's called hanging your license. So this is an exciting time and you have a lot of options. After passing your exam, you're going to be getting constant mail from different brokerages trying to pull you towards them. And this is when you have to sit back and really review the benefits of everywhere you want to go and decide what's best for you. Yet again, if you want help with this process, feel free to DM me on Instagram and I'll help you through this. Now, after you've hung your license and you're officially on with a real estate brokerage, most likely there's going to be some sort of onboarding program or an accelerate program you have to go through to get you up to speed and get them ready to actually send you out there and represent their brokerage. But once you've done this, it's time to finally close your first deal. And this is an exciting process and a time in which you really need to be particular and have the right mentors and team in your corner to make sure that you succeed after this. And once you've done this, it's time to finally get that money. And you've closed your first deal and you've seen that money come in, and I promise you, you're gonna be hooked. One big tip that I wanna give you that really helped me out: go out and shadow people in the industry. You can find people on LinkedIn and message them and ask them, or you can just go cold walk in and talk to people, because I found it was really helpful to me to shadow people in different sectors of the industry to see what I really wanted. I knew what I thought it was I wanted to do because I knew where the most money was, but once I actually got in there and saw what the day-to-day life was like and what they had to do and what it was like meeting with clients, I was able to very quickly decide exactly where I wanted to be in the industry. So I highly recommend that you do that. Thank you all for staying throughout this video today, and I hope you got a lot of value from this. Stay tuned for some of my upcoming content where I'm going to be going over how to crush it in your first year in real estate, how to hit your first 100,000 and your first million in real estate transactions. As well, I'm going to be doing some videos where I interview some of the most successful people I know in the industry. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.